doing today is we're going to check out what you do when you go to a race day. So sit back, we're going to check out what we're going to be up to and the procedures that you need to follow for a race day. To enter for events, you go onto a website called RiderNet. You will find a link from your state controlling body's websites to take you direct to RiderNet. If you hold a Motorcycling Australia licence, you will already be registered with RiderNet. RiderNet is where all your information is. You can go through RiderNet, update your licences, change your licences, anything to do with your licence and events. You scroll down further and you'll come across different events that you can enter. Simply pick the event that you wish to enter, click on it, and you can complete your entry form. This way, when you rock up the track, you've already entered, and it is so much easier than trying to do sign on at the track. Make sure when you're entering events that you read the supplementary regulations. Every event will have these. Be sure to go through them and check them out. They are attached to your entry point on RiderNet. Also to a lot of events you'll be given final instructions. These are very important to read through them. They will tell you all the information that may be very specific to that event or to the venue where you are going. So we've done our early entry, we've read the supplementary regulations, we know what's going on at the event because we've read the final instructions. We rock up out at the track at about 6:30 to find our pit area. Sometimes at some big events, you may be allocated a pit area, but small events like club days, it's go in, find a nice area for yourself and get settled out. So now we take our bike and our riding gear down to scrutineering. This is a safety check for your bike. Some events now, they are doing self-scrutineering. There is a video that I've done as well on self-scrutineering. Take a look at that for events that are doing self-scrutineering. If you have to take your bike down for scrutineering, this is the time to do it. Also too, you'll just need to do your final sign-on. If you need a transponder at this particular time, that's the best time to go and collect your transponder, which is the timing device that they use for scoring in the race day. So we've finished sign-on, we've finished scrutineering, we've got our transponder attached securely to our bike. Now we're going to have riders briefing. Riders briefing is compulsory for all riders. If you are under the age of 18, you must have a guardian as well for the riders briefing. Normally you will go down to a particular area for riders briefing. Sometimes while we've been in the virus time, they've been doing riders briefing over the PA. This will all, of course, be told to you in the final instructions for the event. So another reason why you've got to read the final instructions. Listen for riders briefing because it may be changes made on the day, maybe changes in the race format for the weekend. So this will all be brought up at the riders briefing. Before the day starts, make sure you get yourself a copy of the practice and race order. It can be something as basic as a blackboard or a piece of paper stuck to the wall, or it may even be something a little bit flasher in a program made for whatever the event may be. So now we've got all that other boring stuff out of the way, it's time for what we're here for, riding bikes. You head on down, guided by the officials to whatever area the officials want you to do your practice from. Make sure you go down at the appropriate times as all the classes will be broken into their own practice sessions. So you head out for practice under the guidance of the officials at the appropriate times. Your practice could be different between different venues and different events. But of course, you've read your final instructions and your sup regs. You listen to riders briefing so you know exactly how practice is going to work for this venue. Be sure to obey all the instructions for practice, including the stationary yellow flag. Normally this yellow flag will be held on the first lap of practice, and that means no jumping, and you are to look at the track and work out what the track is doing and where it's going. Now that practice is finished, it's time to get down to the business of racing. So you'll be heading down to a pre-grid area. This will be determined depending on what track you're at, what venue it is, and also too, sometimes it can vary with the event. If it's a big event, sometimes they will be slightly different to what they may run at a club day at that particular track. So now it's time to head out onto the start gates for your first race. Of course, you wait for the officials to allow you to come out. Then there is the selection of the gate, which the rider must do the selection of the gate. The most common way of picking a gate is first in, best dressed. You ride down, you pick the gate, you're the first one there, you get first pick, off you go. Another very common method is the peg draw, which is what we're watching right at the moment. The officials will give you a peg, or at least some sort of a marker with a number written on it. That is your gate for that race. Also, another thing we can see happening here right at the moment is they are checking the transponders to make sure they are working. Another very common way of gate selection these days, because we have the electronic timing of transponders, is to use lap times. So you qualify fastest in practice, then you have first pick of the gate. After that, what it will be is if you finish first in that race, the next race you'll have first pick of the gate as well. So now we're on the gates, ready for the start. There'll be a 2-minute board will come up. This is to indicate to everyone that all non-essential people need to clear the start gates. That means all the mechanics, parents, helpers must clear the start gate. The 15-second board will come up. That means you've got 15 seconds until the start. You need to be in gear and ready for the start. The 5-second board will come up, and the rule is the gates will drop no less than 5 seconds, but no more than 10 seconds after this board has come up. Now that you're up and rolling with your first race, it's time to go out and just enjoy the day with your mates and have a bit of fun. So a day's racing is all done and dusted. Now it's time for presentation. This will vary between venues and events depending what's happening at the time. So this is basically how a race day will run at most places. There are variations between clubs, venues and events as to what can exactly happen, but of course we've read the sub-regs and the final instructions, and we've listened at riders' briefings so we know what's going on. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it has helped you work out what to do on a race day. I hope you found it informative and educational. Also too, you can go back through my library and you'll find a lot of other instructional videos and just random videos in general. Be good if you could subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.